doing? You doing all right?
Good, thank you.
Yeah, sorry. Hey, sorry about the mix up back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
So where are you at right now?
30 minutes from train station. Gotta go to Moscow
Okay.
tonight.
Cool, cool. I'm in right now I'm in Central Florida.
Okay.
Yep, Orlando.
Orlando.
Yep.
I'm just trying to figure where the light should be there. Yeah, I think it's here. So that beautiful lady. Maybe mine. Maybe not. Well, should be mine.
He says he's logging on right now. But you want to go and get started? Or are you on a time crunch?
Yeah. Let's go. Let's go.
Okay, sounds good. So you were the winner of UFC 6. Is that correct?
Correct.
And you faced against Tank Abbott.
Right.
Yep. And so kind of describe that. So if you think about, I guess, so back then when the UFC, you would compete multiple times a night.
3 fights.
3 fights in that night. I think the undercard, who was on the undercard? It was Ken Shamrock and Dan Severn.
Oh, they were fighting a super fight. There was a Dave Benta from Canada and Anthony should be Pat Smith, but it was a Anthony Messias, and then Severn.
Okay, and you beat Tank Abbott. You beat him by submission.
Right, choke.
Okay. And you also competed in Pride, didn't you?
Right.
So I guess we'll get into this. So UFC 5, did the Gracies, was there something about them denying you your entry into UFC 5? I read something about that.
No, they figured that they should leave all the participation at the UFC because there was not they were not owners anymore. They sold their stock, I think, after UFC 4, I believe. So they are they moved to the super fight, which I think they came up with this idea. There was no super fight before, and when Hoyes decided, and not Hoyes, actually Horian decided that it would be a great idea for Hoyes to fight Ken Shamrock because he beat him before, so he'll beat him again. So the super fight idea was kind of interesting at the time for them, but I didn't go that way they planned. It was a boring draw, but anyways, super fight idea still stay after it.
Gotcha. And but you ended up competing in UFC 5, and you fought Dan Severn. I think you had a dislocated knee. Is that correct?
I came with the two knees already been dislocated, so that's the reason why I decided to fight on the ground because I barely could walk. So
is that correct? Okay. Any other? So, well, I'm gonna kind of get good with your name. So your nickname is the Russian Bear.
Right. Yes.
Where did you get that from?
I got some manager didn't know anything about Russia. He was from Texas, and he knew that the Russians drink vodka, and it's very cold over there, and the bears walking on the street, I guess, drinking vodka with the civilians. So he decided vodka and cold doesn't sound exciting, so the bear would be cool. So it's probably how he was thinking.
Cool, man. Now have you wrestled any bears? Just curious. I know, like, Khabib.
I love animals. Come on, I just love them. I mean, I got 2 cats. I mean, I would not wrestle them.
Okay, I seen
they fight. Yeah, they fight for territory every night. Screamed.
I seen. Have you seen that video of Khabib Nurmagomedov when he was real little, wrestling the bears.
Yeah, I've seen some videos, but usually those bears are trained not to hurt anybody. So
Something my
little-
co-host is logging on now.
yeah, I
Um,
got it.
but no, that's cool, man. And we also see you're fighting Jeff Monson in a boxing fight coming up, aren't you?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, we just had Jeff Monson on this podcast.
yeah. I saw it. Yeah,
So
great.
yeah, appreciate it, man. And yeah, so anything on it? Can you tell us a little bit about that? How you did Jeff Monson want to do this, or did you want to fight Jeff Monson in boxing?
Jeff is became kind of popular figure here. He's been fighting for past 15 years, I guess, and he's a likable guy, and I think it's perfect idea. Especially the boxing. It's much easier because he's great on the ground, and I think I can I can put some show that would be is as exciting, maybe even more exciting than the one I had with Dolph Lundgren. Because Dolph is not a great fighter.
And Rocky Ford.
Yeah. But I mean, he was the champion in some karate or some form of karate, and his conditioning was good. But he was older than me, so I was like very careful, not trying not to hit him. With the Jeff, it's a different idea, and this guy probably never been knocked out, which makes things even more exciting. I was thinking like, hey, I do sparring, boxing sparring just for fun, at least twice a week, and I've been doing it for all my life, pretty much. I mean, specifically boxing, starting at age 29 when I started doing boxing. When I finished UFC, I started doing boxing. I trained as a boxer. I was even invited to the Evander Holyfield camp. I said no, thank you. It was interesting. So, and I see lots of people who should not be there. Make their name, well-known. People talk about them, like people making money, and they are promoting their business. I'm like, excuse me, those guys have nothing to do with the fight business. I mean, why? I can try. I mean, it's kind of cool. I'm almost 56,
Yeah.
55 at the moment. I mean, sometimes you see some poor exhibitions like the one I spoke about, Evander Holyfield against Vitor Belfort. That was real sad.
It was, yeah.
To see Evander Holyfield in that kind of shape, and he probably didn't understand what really happened at that time. Well,
yeah. Well, anyways, I mean, so I mean, you got into that a little bit, but Jeff, I mean, I think he's a tough dude. So like, kind of like you said, I mean, I think he's gonna be a good match for you. And you look like you're in pretty good shape.
I'm in a good shape, yeah, but he probably would give me more trouble if we get fight on the ground, which eventually probably gonna happen because I got few companies approaching us with this fight, but so far it's a boxing.
Gotcha. David, now that you're here, you want to add anything in?
Something to start with, yeah.
Yeah, sorry about that. I had some
how are you?
network issues, but I'm glad I was able to get in here. But I guess I did see something talking about Munson. Were y'all supposed to do an MMA match like 6 or 7 years ago or something like that?
No, 1 year ago it was the first time somebody
Gotcha.
approached us. Yeah.
Gotcha. I saw something on the internet back in 2016. I don't know if that's right or not, but I thought I'd ask.
Last year I did the film The Machine in Serbia. It came out with this comedian guy. If you've seen it, I don't know. Have you?
What's the name of that again?
The Machine.
The Machine.
I have not.
Machine.
I don't think I have. No,
Yeah, check on the internet. Yeah,
we'll check it out. But
so I did this film, and I had my hair shaved completely, so I looked like Jeff Monson. We had a picture us facing each other. I'm like, wow. But at that time, like I said, I had two films to I had to finish. One was the last film with Ray Liotta, 1992, about robbery of a platinum plant in LA during the Rodney King riots. So I had something to do. This year, actors are going crazy. They are on a strike in the United States. Here in Russia, all films, it's only one topic. So
yeah.
I haven't got any great script yet. So I thought, wow, it's great time, you know. If not now, probably will be never.
And you seem to enjoy the film business. I know you played in Predators, National Treasure, I think Bad Boys 2, right?
Right, yeah. I was
And Air Force One.
Air Force One was the first film. Bad Boys 2 was interesting. That's how I started being well known in the Black community in America, actually, all over the world. Somehow everybody watched the Bad Boys 2. It was so funny.
I know, yeah. I remember you in the. I remember seeing you in the film. What
Me
was
too.
Martin Lawrence and Will Smith like?
Will Smith, he played the game of Will Smith, so that's how I would describe his behavior. But Martin Lawrence is a nice guy. I mean, not nice. I mean, he's a cool guy. He's the guy who could be your friend. I mean, he's very open, very honest, and pretty. You know, just the fact he brought his friends to play basketball with him. So they put the trailers around the court, or they build up a basketball court somewhere, trailers park, and they play basketball there. He paid for the rooms, paid for everything, just so nine of his friends could play with him basketball. I know he had a problem with the weight loss, but I mean, it's a great weight. Anyways, it's like, you know, I don't know many people who could pay for friends just to have a vacation in Miami, play basketball, just enjoy time. It's great, you know, to have a friend like Martin Lawrence.
So that
We
seems
talked
like, yeah.
Yeah,
It seems like a cool dude, man.
Yeah, he's a really cool dude, man. Because, you know, Will Smith, it's like the guy you don't really. He's just like in the movies, you know. You can see his acting, like in the real life, he's acting like a Will Smith should be, like very friendly, over friendly, I would say. Like it's kind of baloney.
Yeah.
And
What
but Martin Lawrence is amazing. I love that, and I think he's funnier to me, and he had a sudden humor, so I really enjoy it. It's funny.
What about Nicolas Cage? How was he in National Treasure?
Nicolas Cage. I wish you would ask me about some other people, like Robert De Niro, who was at my wedding.
Yeah,
Al
what about
Pacino,
De Niro? Yeah,
who came back to for me to finish the story about my friend who had a nickname Tony Montana in Russia. So Al Pacino came back at 2:00 in the morning with a hoodie in a Bridgeport, Connecticut, where white people get killed constantly. I mean, just kidding. They're not, but still, it's criminal city. But you asking about Nicolas Cage. You know, Nicolas Cage, I'd love to say something about Nicolas Cage, but there's nothing you can say about Nicolas Cage. Nicolas Cage is just there, you know.
okay. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that makes sense. I know what you mean.
Yeah.
And you also played a voice in a video game too, PlayStation 2, 50 Cent, Blood in the Sand, right?
I even play myself, you know.
Were you in the game?
Mayakovsky in the Battlefield 3.
Okay.
That was interesting experience.
Yeah, that's cool. I didn't even know you were in video game, played voices in video games. I was like, that's pretty cool. David, you
That's
got
cool.
anything?
No, that's cool.
And if you don't care, let's change subjects a little bit. I saw you had a picture with Edward Snowden. Are you able to talk about that a little bit?
No, it was not Rule Edward, but
Oh, okay.
his character was in the film, and I just lie. I mean, not lie. Of course, people understood it's not him, but I say, hey, it was a real Edward. So he speaks Russian pretty well, and I told him continue learning. And the guy was funny, and he had a little accent himself, and I told him pretty much what he should say, half English, half Russian. So and see, you guys have been, we pulled your leg too as well.
Yeah. Can you talk about you were in the Russian military, weren't you?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, everybody was in the Russian military.
Are you able to talk about that, kind of your experience?
Sure.
Anything?
Yeah, it was amazing. Except I should continue doing sport for 2 years, but since I was a fanatic, I did the sport too much, and instead of doing nothing at 6 o'clock in the morning with other soldiers, I decided to wake up 5 o'clock in the morning, jump over the fence, run in the snow, and then do decent training at my dojo, where I could get using the first bus, and that's how I was caught. So that's how
Oh yeah.
that's why they decided to punish me
Uh-oh.
by sending me to the real military service place, where since I had so much energy, I got sergeant. Like, did I say right? Not sergeant, sergeant.
So yeah, you're saying it right. Yeah.
Yeah, so sergeant. Yeah, so I became one, and I got a military occupation with anti plane missile system.
Mm-hmm.
So I was one of like high rank specialists. So
And
it took me I think 2 months to get there, and they would not let me come back to my sport service for almost 6 months. So I had to teach another soldier to do what I knew, and act like I'm a horrible military person. So you can't rely on me. So they would let me go.
I was watching that Dan Severin and Don Fry's podcast, and you were talking about you wanted to get into like nuclear science prior to fighting, right?
Yeah. When I was 10 years old, even 11, I still had an idea to continue doing what my grandfather did, working in this field, because I'm from that secret city, which is a sister of Los Alamos. Well, it's not that secret. At least in the early 2000, you could hear American accent, English speaking people in my city. It was more probably English speaking than Russian speaking, especially when you go have lunch in there.
Cool. David, you got
I never
anything?
disappeared. Yeah.
Y'all may have hit on this, but are you working on any movies at the current time?
I got 3 films here, and one of the film I'm playing the father of a Russian tennis player. Actually, she's a real tennis player, but at the end she plays herself playing tennis and winning. Svetlana Kuznetsova, she was one of the greatest tennis players, but she's going to be played by a young actress. Like we're talking about her young age, and I play the father, and that hair should be a little bit shorter, and here we're gonna have dark, so it should be much younger in the scenes where we're shooting our childhood.
Cool.
That's cool. Yeah.
Yeah, and David, you missed it. We were talking about the early UFC days with him before you got on. So he talked about Tank Abbott and all them.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I hate I missed that. My router refreshed because I wanted to hear about, I guess, the Hoist Gracie because I saw like you wanted to teach him leg locks or whatever. So I thought that was pretty cool article to read
Yeah,
and stuff.
I'm just given innocent person coming to the Torrance Jiu-Jitsu facility. You guys, I don't speak much English, and I had a translator with me who could speak Spanish, Russian guy. Nobody spoke English, and it was miscommunication in all spheres. I tried to tell them, guys, I want to teach you to do leg locks. You guys gonna be killing everybody. It's gonna be an eye opener, like nobody's seen it. You're gonna be you guys famous, but you're gonna be even more famous. Myself, I just want to get in the movies. Maybe you have some connections. Maybe you can, help me out. And of course, nobody understood anything. Like they thought probably that I'm gonna kill you with leg locks. I'm not sure what the next thing. They let me practice with the top black belts. They were really not that strong. And then I see Oleg Gracie sitting in Art Davis' office. And I thought he's saying how great I am, but he said, hey, don't sign this piece of shit. Since he told the piece of shit about two people, Alexander Karelin and Mike Tyson. So I was the third. I was in a great team, and that's how I got signed, because Art Davis didn't trust him at that time already. Yeah. So if I came 1 year earlier, probably I would not get signed at UFC. So,
Dang.
In the right time, in the right place. Yeah.
Is there any upcoming UFC prospects that I see that you're kind of involved with the newer guys a little bit. Are you helping with coaching or anything like that?
Yeah, I'm helping with first of all, I did help a little bit with just emotional. I wouldn't say he had the problems, but he definitely didn't feel comfortable with himself. I'm talking about Alex Volkov.
Okay.
Not that I fixed it, but I definitely make a point what is wrong with your mental, emotional preparation. So I think we did a great job with him, and he was telling a joke. He was asking me to translate Russian joke in English 1 minute before the fight, which he won like in 30 seconds or 40 seconds, the last fight. So I thought Alex is in good shape right now. If he had a mental shape, and plus he also got some help in LA with the wrestling. So if he was in that kind of shape, he probably would fall in the top 3 right now, or maybe top 2, maybe even top 1. Who knows? But I think, I don't know, but he could be in top 3 for sure.
I'll definitely.
If he beats Taito Avasa, yeah, he could easily be. His name's back up there at the top. I think they fight in September, so I'm excited to see that fight.
Yeah, for sure. That's going to be a good one.
Yeah, it's interesting because Australia, so it's not like great territory, the time zone for Alex, but I think he's still so much stronger than his opponent. That he's and also I got not young but still fresh Russian, Tatar suspect fighter, Rinat. Let me spell his last name. Fuck Red in off. Fakhretdinov. It's easy for you to remember. He's according to UFC doctors, he got the best recovery among all UFC for UFC history.
He's a beast.
He's the guy who can dominate for 3 rounds, 5 rounds, doesn't matter. He doesn't stop. The guy doesn't know how to stop.
Yeah, he beat a guy from where I'm from, actually. He beat Brian Battle, Andrew.
That's right. Yeah, he did beat Brian. Okay.
And I knew
he's the real deal.
Doing better with every fight. Like last fight, he won one of the UFC title contenders in the first round. And before he was, he took me on 3 rounds for guys who were like newcomers. Next fight, he probably gonna win even more. It would be more exciting to watch him. You know, I'm not sure how he's gonna win, but I know he's gonna win. He's an amazing guy. Like the fight is in his blood, and he's really smart. And the mental he's there. His mental preparation is amazing. He doesn't have any doubt. Like he knows that he's gonna win, and he's gonna win. That's you know.
For sure.
I wish we would start a little bit early with him, but you know what happened? What happened? You know, he knocked somebody out in Abu Dhabi on a Habib show. Habib didn't want to put this guy in the event. It was my friend Marat Kapkaev, his manager, who did everything. And you know, then I saw the fight, saw him knocking out some former UFC champ in the first 30 seconds, and he signed him up. That's it.
Yeah, I mean, he's like David was saying. I mean, that guy's the real deal for sure.
Yeah, he beat a prospect that was from Charlotte, where we're from, handily, like, and just he wrestled him down in the next fight to beat Kevin Lee, like by like knocking, like he can do anything.
Kevin
Like he got
Lee
the
is
guillotine, but
yeah, he just roll over him. Yeah,
yeah, that was crazy.
The domination in the striking, domination in the
Everything.
ground, anything. Yeah, the mental domination. That's most important.
Do you stay in contact with any of the Dagestan fighters? Do you know any of them?
Well, I do know some, but I prefer not to talk about. You know, I got so much crap for past 5 years from that.
From just that group of fighters?
I know when I was in army, the Dagestani people were the best in the behavior, the nicest guys, very fair. You know, the people who can you can rely. If they are your friends, if they are on your side, you know you're safe. And they were completely different people. Now what I see is young generation, some crappy version of a gang activity, you know, in early 90s, maybe, I don't know.
Yeah.
West side, and that kind of stuff. But you know, mostly they're gangsters on the internet, because I never heard anybody would say anything against me. They came up with all kind of stories, and you know, I'm like, honestly, I don't want to talk about because
Yeah, no, I don't blame you. Yeah, I was just
We
curious.
get it. Yeah.
yeah, because then you have to clean up your internet, you know, Instagram, because that's what they're good at.
Yeah, well, then you say one wrong thing, and then they try to go after you every which way.
There is no such a thing, wrong thing. Is that you just say your opinion.
Yeah.
But if this opinion goes against their opinion, and somehow, you know, just bring down their pride as a nation.
Yeah, for sure. Well, Oleg, I don't want to keep you too long. Is there anything you want to add before we get off here?
No, I just want you guys, try to get a footage of that boxing event with the Jeff, and I really hope that we're gonna have a next one in the MMA, and I will see how I'm gonna feel, because I don't know what happened to me. You know, used to I would wrestle and I would have a back problems or get injured if I do some speed work. Something happened to my body. I just want to use that moment because just feel good, you know. It's I don't get tired, I don't get injured, and it's kind of exciting for me to just see where I can, what I can. And since we're quite popular, so we get numbers for the TV station who was putting this show. Am I going to do a few films with the station, and they already approach with some cooking contest to us with the Jeff.
Oh, yeah?
I love that.
That's good.
Hey,
Yeah,
Jeff,
that's
why,
cool.
why put potato in it? Jeff, don't put cheese. Oh, Jeff, you want to be like a you know, like fat like a typical American broad from Kentucky, or I mean, put some Put some, Russian mushrooms, Just go to the restaurant and that's it, it's gone, You more you eat, the skinny you get, We're just thinking how it can be.
Yeah, no, that'd be cool, man. What's before we get off here?
Yeah,
What's
Jeff,
that?
then don't put the salt in your food, Jeff. I mean, that's not good for you. I mean, that's why your face is kind of screwed up, Drink more pure water, Jeff. I mean, just fresh
Oleg,
fruit. Yeah, go ahead.
what's that stuff that you it's like a tea or something? It's like green leaves and you mash it up.
Yerba mate. That's very popular, yes. Argentinian.
What does that do?
Argentinian. It's great for you. I should present you one.
I need
In
yeah,
fact,
I need to try it out.
Yeah,
you
we'll try it out.
Yeah, we should, guys. What city you are in? In
I'm in
Cali, by the way, you can. I know in Miami, you can get a lot of those.
I could
Just go
I
to
could
the-
probably find it, yeah.
Yeah, check MATE, but make sure that send me a picture what you want to buy, because I tell you what's good stuff, what's average or poor
Okay.
stuff.
Sounds good.
It's got to be in the package, and I want to see the brand.
Is there a specific brand or does it you just
Specific brands are much better. Yeah, like Rosamonte is great, and some small brands with the. If you say if you see organic, it has a chance to be real organic, and but it's all about the preparation. Also, I can
just-
do it
I'll have to try it out.
little
for sure.
teaching in English in my next Instagram.
You have to try it out. David, you want to add anything before we get off here?
No, I just appreciate you coming on. Glad we got to talk to you again. Sorry I was popped in a little late due to internet, but glad I got to pop in and listen to you, and we appreciate it.
All right, guys. So,
All right. We'll appreciate it. Oleg. Good luck.
Florida.
Good luck in your next fight and stay safe, all right?
Thank you. Yeah. So hopefully I'll be in the US maybe in November, because actors have to stop going on strike because it's bad for
Yeah.
business.
Say, oh yeah, you need to get back. Say we need to start making the movies again.
Yeah, we gotta work, guys. I mean, it's not about how much money; it's how much you work.
Yeah, for sure. But anyways, we appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Yeah,
Cheers.
thank you.
guys.
Thank you, sir.
It was
Bye.
Great to be with you.